Okay. Good morning.
Pivot one up.
Nyoke.
Hold on, it's coming.
Kikadoos.
Madawaka.
Madawaka.
Halito.
OCO
CO.
or CO.
Unsdi Huntedish.
Guana.
Kunamante.
Yaptahe.
Good morning, everyone. We are live from 1950 South Shepherd for Women's Wednesday. We're going to do a little double episode today because we have another guest coming in. But me and Theta are finally, we got a full office again. It feels, well, almost full. Almost full. Definitely have some people back in the office from that were in ceremony, and who else? Traveling, surgery. I don't know. It's been a wild few weeks, but yeah, I'm happy to be back on here and check in with everyone. How you feeling this morning?
I'm here. No, I feel better today. Yesterday my back was bothering me and stuff, and took an ibuprofen before I went to sleep last night and did some stretches. I feel a little better today. I'm not walking like I was yesterday. So I feel all right.
That's
You?
good.
How about you? How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good today. I feel well rested. I tuned into an AA meeting this morning, Zoom meeting, while I was
Really?
getting ready.
Oh, that's good.
And, sometimes I just got to be reminded of all the principles and things that I've learned throughout my recovery in order to start my day and have a better day than I did yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels pretty good to be here. It's not too hot on the couch today.
I'm a little hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's just because of this.
So, you were gone from work for what, a week?
Yeah.
Was it a week?
Yeah.
How is it for you, getting back into routine and everything?
I'm actually doing okay. I actually remember to clock in and clock out. When we were gone for those trainings, I kept forgetting those times to clock in and clock out, but I actually remembered, so that's a good thing. I feel like I've been gone for a long time for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't,
It's been some moons.
right. Yeah, it's been like a month, yeah, that I've been just in the office for the whole week, and then it's 4th of July, so we're not even gonna be in here the whole week,
So bye again.
right, so bye again. Right, yeah.
Acting like Mingo.
Does anyone even
Mingo
work
ways.
here? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't even see Mingo though. We're just passing it. Yeah, I know, tag you're it.
Mingo, will you be back maybe in August?
At least by the end of the month, right?
I don't know why I'm doing that, like I'm telling a secret. Yeah, so you've adapted well to being back and just flowing.
I actually missed being here, I missed being around y'all and stuff. Miss my Desi. And you, and of course the guys. Missed everybody's humor and stuff. And but yeah, I'm happy to be back.
Happy that you're back.
Thank you.
Good morning, Laura.
Good morning.
Well, this meditation is so fitting this morning for everything. It's a good one, so I'm going to go ahead and read it.
Okay.
So it is July 2nd. If I destroy you, I destroy myself. If I honor you, I honor myself. Hunbat Min Mayan. It is said when we need love the most is when we deserve it the least. Whenever I have secret thoughts about someone else, it will put bad feelings inside myself. I will hurt myself. If I secretly hold a grudge or resentment against my brother or sister, I will be a slave to that person until I let them go. Let me remember to look at my brother in a sacred manner. Today, let me think like a warrior. Let my thoughts towards my brothers and sisters be good thoughts. Let me remember that you are in charge. If I get upset at another person today, let me remember that the most important thing I can do is to first talk to you. Because when I am right with you, it is impossible to be out of harmony with my brothers and sisters. My Creator, take my hand and guide me through today. Wow. How do you feel about that?
That's just like, treat those as you treat yourself. Like, I noticed that, like, being in recovery, like, I noticed that I'm able to forgive people that I held grudges against, like my family, that I was once mad at. I'm able to forgive, let it go. Yeah, that's what that makes me think about and stuff. I'm a more forgiving person, and I'm more about his ways and stuff, our creator. And I try to look at things in a more positive way and things.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That made me think about, like, just what you said. Being in recovery is learning how to, like, actually forgive someone. Like, not, this isn't like a half-ass, saying I forgive you, but still holding that in your heart. That's like forgiving someone and like praying for them so that you're freed from it, you know? And there's always more work that comes after forgiving, you know what I mean? And to keep that up is just something I've learned in recovery, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. It's also peace, you know what I mean? Like, it's a sense of peace in your heart and your mind, and spiritually, like, it's just a calming, you're not like stressed out over, stuff that you were once mad about or whatever.
Yeah.
It's holding grudges,
like letting those feelings, like, you don't have to let those feelings like eat you up anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because we do, like, we value our peace. We value a sense of peace, and the feelings that we feel, like, or the feelings that I feel in recovery, they're not always good. But also, I know how to feel good feelings and feel bad feelings in a healthy way today.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Yep. Same here.
Laura said 2 years and 6 months.
Hey, give her Lulu.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Laura. Keep going. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it's okay to get, like, out of tune with that, forgiving, like, having forgiveness in your heart, but, like, knowing how to get back to that, you know? And that's what I have to put constant work in on, because honestly, I'm a grudge holder.
Yeah, me too.
You upset me, I'm probably gonna cut contact for a while, you know, and be mad. But who am I hurting at the end of the day? Myself, because I'm feeling those bad feelings.
Like, I could go for years.
For real.
Mad.
Honestly,
never forget.
Right. Never. But I'm trying not to be that type of person anymore. Like, I don't want to be, holding grudges for years and stuff like that. I want to be better than that. So I'm working on it. There's like maybe like 2 people I still haven't like been in contact with that I need to make amends with. I don't even know where they're at, honestly, but I know that when I do see them, I still question myself, like, how am I gonna act when I do see these people? Like, is it gonna be okay? Am I gonna go off of what their vibes are? Like, what's it gonna be like? Makes me wonder. Because, like, the last time I seen these 2, I wanted to fight both of them. So it's like, what is this gonna be like when I run into them?
yeah.
So hopefully that when I do see them, everything's good, and like they're in a forgiving space and I'm in a forgiving space, and we can, make that better. You know what I mean? So, but it's still on my mind. Like, when hopefully I do come across them, and that's what it is, you know? Right.
And like if you have like, you know, if you have that connection with your higher power, um I feel like you'll know when the time is right, because there was someone that I had on my amends list,
Yeah.
and I was in the same place, same time with them, and I just had to like I stepped away for a minute, and I was gonna kind of, you know, pray about it or just gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I got this feeling inside, like it wasn't fear, of the outcome or anything, but I got this feeling inside, like now is not the time for this.
Right.
And at the time, like where it happened was at my work, my place of business.
Mhm.
So, you know, I don't know if that was the creator protecting me in that moment.
Mhm.
I would like to say amends can be made in many different ways
Yeah.
too. You know what I
It
mean? Just,
can.
you know, a conversation sparks and you kind of get to show people where you started and where you're at now.
Yeah.
And that's what it means to be like a living amends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're living amends to our families and
That part.
our close friends and things like that. So
Mhm. Yeah.
showing them better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that there's amends that I will make when the time is right, you know, and I feel like I'll feel that um, in my heart
Mhm.
before it happens.
Yeah.
So,
Sure. Yep.
see, you want to read some comments, Des?
Patrick Medicine Bird says, "Good morning, beautiful women. Prayers for the people."
Good
Good
morning.
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 Vashti Alice says, "Pivotal no
Good
sister."
morning, sister.
Good morning.
Good morning. Mary Cross, good morning.
Good morning.
And Sally Nieto said, "Good morning. What a beautiful day. Many blessings to all." Good morning, guys. Thanks for
Blessings.
Good
tuning in.
morning. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Mhm.
It's the amends I've had to make recently is a little crazy. I'm just gonna keep going on this because I could. Anyway, so let me just write my. No, just kidding. Let me just start writing it all out.
Yeah.
My grandma is she's very much a positive role model in my life. She's a woman that I can look up to and strive to be like, even though we don't agree on some things,
Mhm.
because of the world today and the world that she started her life in, you
Mhm.
know, in her 20s. Just very different places.
Yeah.
And I told her, like, I respect and I value the words that you give me, the lessons and the teachings that you give me, but I'm an adult now too.
Yeah.
And I have to figure out how to cross some bridges in today's world, and that's going to look differently than when you cross
Right.
those bridges, you
Yeah.
know. And so she was helping me. She's my financial advisor. She was helping me with my taxes from last year. We were working, and she kept asking these questions about these different things, and it seemed to me that it was unnecessary to
Mhm.
what we were working on. And you know, I have a one-track mind. When I'm
Yeah.
working on something, I got to stay focused, I got to stay tuned
Say, like
in.
tunnel vision.
Yeah. Like if you want me to be productive, I need to focus on this one thing in front of me.
Yeah.
So she kept asking me these questions, and I'm answering, and finally I'm like, why? Like,
Yeah.
what does this pertain to anything
And
that we're
then, and then
doing?
you don't even know where she's coming from. So she obviously has like a bigger picture of why she's asking you these questions, and you're like,
Exactly. Yeah. And she told me, she said, well, these numbers that I'm asking about, they're gonna make sense too
right,
down the line.
right,
But so instead of me, you know, I could have walked in and been like, or I could have even said, instead of saying, what is going on here? I could have said, can you explain to me
right.
what part does this, you know, what does this pertain to?
Yeah,
And then it would have been easier. So anyways, we have a little blow up. We have a little, you know,
yeah.
and
Instead of just being patient and listening and waiting,
yeah.
you know.
But this is just part of life, you know.
Yeah.
This is real life. I like to talk about real life situations on here
Right.
and not sugarcoat things, because I know that there's people that can relate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the way that I handled a situation wrong or right can be a lesson for someone else.
Yeah. And then think about when Josie gets older. You know, you're going to have these questions to her and she's not going to understand, you know? So, like, that's how it is with me and my daughter. Like, she's kind of like moody and, you know, so I have to like take a minute because I know she's just that one track mind still. She's not seeing the bigger picture of what you already know because you're wiser and you know more things, you know? And she kind of frustrates me because she's being, but why mom, you know, like
See, we can relate from
Yeah.
different like ends of
angles,
the
yeah,
situation.
and I'm like just listen to me, like, you know.
So I go and like make my amends with her,
Mm,
and I'm like, look, I'm sorry, I was short-tempered, I was
Mhm.
disrespectful,
mhm.
and those are things I have no problem admitting today. I was disrespectful. I don't like the way that I talk to you, you know,
Right.
and I want to apologize.
That's good.
And at the end of the message, I said, I'm so grateful for everything that you do for Josie
Mhm.
because she is my biggest caretaker for
Yeah.
Josie.
Yeah.
And the only thing she got from that amends was me saying thank you for everything you do for Josie. So she says, "Oh, what? I don't do anything for you?"
Oh my
I'm like,
gosh. Okay, so then
"No."
she blew that out of it.
Exactly. And it's like, so even when you try to do the right thing, it
Right.
might not always
And
work
okay,
out.
so basically you send her a text message. And see, that's what goes wrong with these text messages. You know, sometimes you have to verbally say things because they're not going to understand it in a message, you know. They're going
True.
to take what they want out of that, you know. So sometimes it's best to do it verbally rather than just sending a text. But I'm like you, man. I'm a texting person.
Mhm.
You know, I would rather text you than call you.
Yeah, see? Same.
And you know, my mom is the opposite. She'd rather call me and just get straight to the point, you know,
Mhm.
like, and I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, they can be, you know, misinterpreted, you know.
Yes. I know texts are scary. Like you don't ever want to read it with like the wrong like attitude behind it or something, and
That's true.
then you get yourself mad
Yeah.
and
And I've done that too, you know. I've
and
read things so wrong, and I'm like, oh wait, and then I got it. Then I finally sit down, calm down, and reread the message, and I'm like, oh man, you know, like. Then I gotta text back again and be like, man, my bad, I read that wrong.
and sometimes
know?
you read something like to yourself in your head, right? And then you go back and read it out loud.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Right.
Right? Life is crazy
It
sometimes.
is crazy. It is. It's pretty funny though.
We have Theta.
Tita. Tita.
Theta Orange, morning ladies, 4 years clean, 8 months sober. Forgiving me myself was the hardest part. Prayers are what saved me.
Oh, congratulations. And
Thank you for sharing that with us.
it's good. Love you.
So
I had a
yeah,
good conversation with her at the Sundance too.
Really?
Yeah, she has some good stuff to say, you know. So thank you for talking with me and stuff. I appreciate all your words and everything, you know, your encouragement and your wisdom. So love you and thank you for that.
That's cool. Y'all have
Yeah.
the same name.
Yeah, we're both named after my aunt Theta, and from Sealing, Theta Bitten. We're both named after her. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
the three of us. Yeah, that's
Wow.
what she was talking about too. She was like, "There's three of us left," you know. And but yeah, it's my aunt Francie, then her, and me. So
Wow.
I'm the baby. No. Yeah, it's cool.
I was the baby for 14 years. And then my mom started having more kids when I was 14. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I was
14
a
years
baby.
separation. Yeah. My sister, she's 12, like 11, 12 years older than me. Can't remember if it's 11 or 12, but yeah. So she was more like my mom instead of my sister. You know, are you more like a motherly figure to your brothers, or
Yes.
yeah, that's how it was.
Definitely.
Like my sister, she was the one that was there when I started my period. Like, you know what I mean? Like she walked me through like a whole lot of my first pregnancy on how to do things. And so my sister was more like my mom and stuff. To this day, I still call her and I'm like, hey, how do you do this? You know,
Mhm.
like, and then she'll walk me through everything, you know. So it's pretty cool to have that, you know.
Yeah. Like, no matter who your connections are with or who you get, your advice from, as long as you have that one person, like, that's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's sweet.
Theta said, brought tears to my heart to see you at camp. Yes, you are, baby.
Aw, that's sweet.
Oh. Yeah. That's cool.
So yeah, we've had a lot. I mean, despite a lot of people being out of the office, we've had a lot going on. We've still been going to Operation Camps on Tuesdays, which is where we go connect with the homeless. And I just wanted to share a little bit about that because at first, people were kind of timid to come up and see what we had, or like they thought maybe it's almost like they thought what we had was for sale, because they're like, oh, it's free. Like they're like, oh, it's free. Like they're shocked,
Yeah.
And the change in the people that come to visit us on that day has changed. Like it's changed a lot. They're really comfortable now.
At the outreach.
They're happy to
Yeah,
see
at the camp.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I remember our first day going. Remember?
Mhm.
They were all like, who y'all working for? Like, y'all in the police?
Yeah.
Like, what's the catch?
Right?
They were thinking like, this is a setup.
Right. Their guard was up that
Yeah,
day.
big time.
And they just it's so awesome to see, I mean, yes, their situations are unfortunate, but to get to go and connect with them, and then also the numbers that we've heard of reversed overdoses from them. They'll come up and get more Narcan and be like, oh yeah, I just saved my homie last week.
Yeah.
And even if it seems like our efforts go unnoticed sometimes, hearing those things
lets you know that it is working, and that what we are doing is saving lives and preventing overdoses. And
absolutely. Hey.
Barry's running around somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our next guest is here. I'm trying to think of anything that we have going on in the month of July.
We're co-hosting. It looks like a couple of dances.
We have our. Is it Tradition Expedition or Expedition Tradition?
I think it's Tradition Expedition.
Okay. We have our. That's going to be like our 3-day camp, July 21st through 23rd. And that's for teenagers. They get to come and take part. It's going to be out at Gary. Gary ERC. They're going to get to take part in a bunch of cultural activities, skirt making, I think, bandoliers, of course, drums, So just all the things that we offer.
Like gourd making and things like that.
Yeah, and I think we're going to even be doing some circles with our sons and daughters of tradition. So that'll be happening. We do still have some spots available for that, but it's in Gary.
We have our meet and greet coming up.
Yes, I have brought the idea to have a meet and greet with our 4 newest team members. And really, my goal with this was just, the month of June was so busy and everyone was out and we didn't get to have our regular speaker night. And I'm like, just talking to Darian, and I'm like, I feel like we haven't had in-person connection with our community, like our, immediate community. And what better way to do that than to have a panel speaker night, share a really good meal, because that's what we provide here. Shout out to Nat. Her cooking is always
on point.
Yes.
Yes.
But just share a meal together, and like they can connect. I want the community to be able to connect with us on like a one-on-one level, so that they'll be able to like ask any questions that they have about our program, what we do. We all have different journeys in recovery, and I feel like each different place that we hold makes our team.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about our journeys, like
a little bit
about
who you are and what your story contributes to
All right, y'all.
the work that we do.
So if y'all want to get to know us, come out.
Yeah.
Ask
Come out,
questions.
hang out, ask questions. I want to talk about the talking circles that we have because I can see that we have the potential to grow in that way.
Mhm.
But you know, it's just like Alcoholics Anonymous too. You have a month where the rooms are full, the meetings are flowing, and then you know a holiday weekend comes up or this or that, and you know there's just few people there. So,
Mhm.
but I want to talk about our support circles because we've worked hard in doing these trainings, you know, these
Right.
Wellbriety trainings,
Yeah.
and we have support to offer for our communities.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's going to be on the 24th of July. We'll eat at 6 and our panel will start at 7. We will be live streaming on both our Facebook and our YouTube. This will be a holiday weekend this weekend, the 4th of July. So I just want to close out, if you don't have anything, by saying I hope that you all have a safe and sound holiday weekend. You might see us before the week is over. Wait, it's tomorrow, Thursday?
Tomorrow's
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. So, but yeah, have a good and happy weekend with your family.
Yeah, we work half a day tomorrow, so
Yeah.
yeah. Are we gonna be on here tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm sure it'll be Barry.
Oh, very.
But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. So we will see you soon.
Bye.